And these are achievements that, you know, we are so proud and so happy to have. It just warms my heart that I was able to make a decision 14 years ago that impacted my life and my family's life in such a way. Listen, Primerica is built to be here. Primerica is a company that you can truly trust.
Thank you, Tanya. Congratulations on your success as a Senior National Sales Director. And we appreciate you sharing a little more information about who Primerica is and how we help families. Next up, we've got a leader that's been 9 years with Primerica and that time achieved incredible success. Comes to us from a background as a customer care specialist. That's probably someone you can relate to. Maybe many of you today work in an area of customer service. He's from Brooklyn, New York, and he's going to talk to us more specifically about how Primerica helps families. Let's welcome Regional Vice President Jimmy Lott.
Thank you, Glenn. I'm excited to be here today, kind of share with you guys the need for what we do and how we help families. See, our company mission statement is to help families earn more income, become properly protected, debt-free, and financially independent. See, how many families today in America need a game plan? See, these are some statistics. Nearly 30% of people say that they have less than $25,000 in savings and investments put away for retirement, right? See, almost half of Americans say that they worry they'll run out of money in retirement. See, I once heard they say that the best gift for your child is a retirement plan for yourself, right? See, income protection. Nearly half, 46% of Americans have no life insurance coverage in 2020. Think about what's going on in the world today. See, about 60 million Americans households are underinsured or uninsured with an average life insurance coverage gap of $200,000. See, we all know our date of birth, but we don't know our date of death. And think about what's going on in the world today. See, the challenge is that when families pass away, they either leave behind one or two things. They either leave behind a check to take care of their family, or they leave behind financial burden for their family. And one thing I know is the worst thing to go through when we're suffering from an emotional burden is a financial burden as well. See, look at the debt crisis. The average American has over $90,000 just in consumer debt alone, including credit cards, personal loans, auto and mortgage loans, and student debt, right? More than 1 in 3 Americans say they have a purchase of $100 or more or max out their credit cards, right? See, and we help families solve these debt challenges. Income, almost 4 out of 10 Americans need to borrow money to cover a $1,000 emergency, right? And 74% of workers live paycheck to paycheck. And that was me before Primerica, living paycheck to paycheck. See, how real and serious are these problems? And what company do you know that focuses on helping Main Street families solve these problems? See, one of the reasons why people are, having so many financial challenges, because most people today don't get a financial education, right? See, we're not learning it in school. I didn't learn it from my parents, right? Having a financial game plan. People don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. And most importantly, having a financial coach. And a question you want to ask yourself is, which one of these do you currently have right now? I know before I joined Primerica, I didn't have a financial education. I definitely didn't have a financial game plan, and I did not have a financial coach. And this results in serious challenges for Main Street families, right? And just like what I mentioned earlier, see, people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. They spend more time and more money planning a wedding, a Friday night, a Saturday night, than do they plan for their finances. And this is the problem today. See, traditional financial institutions, they sell you a product, but they don't provide you with a total solution, meaning a financial strategy, right? See, most of us today, right, see, we get our paycheck and we pay our bills, our life insurance bills, our mortgage, our credit cards. We might have loans. We're investing in mutual funds maybe. We have a savings account or 401k or a bank account. But the challenge is that we have to call multiple companies to solve these challenges instead of imagining calling one company and having all of these challenges solved for you, right? See, this is the solution. This is how we help families, by providing them a financial needs analysis, which is a custom customized, confidential, and complimentary program that can help you achieve your goals and dreams, because your goals and dreams are important in Primerica, right? See, what a financial needs analysis is also a financial GPS. It helps you answer those important questions when it comes to your finances, right? And one of the most important things that the financial needs analysis covers is knowing your financial independence number. See, what is a financial independence number? Your FIN number is the amount of money you'll need to accumulate so that someday you can live off that money for the rest of your life and never having to go back to work. See, isn't that a very important number for you to know? Isn't that a very important number for you to share with people that you love and trust? See, it says if you want to retire in 30 years with $30,000 a year, see, 30 years from now with a 3% inflation, that's going to be over $73,000. And your FIN number is $1,080,000. See, how many people do we know that have $1 million for retirement, right? Simply because they probably don't know they need that much. Most people underestimate how much money they need for retirement. See, one thing I talk to people about is that if we don't take care of our money or we don't save our money, one day our money can't save us. See, how important is it for you to know your financial independence number? See, the next thing that we share with our clients or people that we teach is the 3 accounts you need. Because, see, to have a complete savings program, most people need 3 types of basic accounts. Before I joined Primerica, the only account I had was a checking account, right? And everything came from my checking account. And what I realized is after sitting down with Primerica, they taught me to have an emergency fund. Because when do emergencies happen? Especially at a time like this, emergencies always come up. And one thing I do know is most emergencies are solved with money, right? The second type of account is having a short-term savings account, right? And the third account is having a long-term savings or investment to take care of you for retirement. Another concept that we teach families is called bypass the middleman. You want to become an owner, not a loaner. See, traditional financial institutions, what do? See, banks, credit unions, insurance companies, right? They have a historical low rate of returns. Most people put their money in their bank, and then the banks invest it in the global economy. See, one thing we do is we educate our clients to put their money exactly where the banks put it, which is the global economy, right? And the next financial concept I want to teach you guys about is the rule of 72. When I went to school, they never taught me about this rule. And it's so important for everyone to learn this rule if you want to have money work hard for you, because we work hard for our money. See, the rule of 72 says you divide your interest rate into 72 to find the approximate numbers of years it takes your money to double, right? See, all of us, don't we want to learn how to double our money, right? And think of this, look at this situation, right? Let's say we all come across $10,000, right? And what do most people do with $10,000, right? They either spend it or they spend it, right? But let's say in this situation, you're going to invest it for your future. So let's say at a 3% rate of return, 72 divided by 3 is 24. So that means that every 24 years, your money's going to double once. So as you see, 10,000, 24 years later, it goes to 20,000. And then another 24 years later, you have 40,000. But imagine this, 48 years later, you have $40,000 for retirement. How long would that money last you? Not very long, would you agree with me? Right? Let's look at 6%, right? 72 divided by 6 is 12. So every 12 years, your money is doubling now. So, right, from 10,000, 12 years later to 20, and then another 12 years later to 40, and then another 12 years later, you have 80, and then another 12 years, you have 160,000. It's better than 40, but it probably won't last you for your entire retirement, especially people are living longer today than ever before. See, how do you win a game if you don't know the rules? Who would benefit from learning this rule? Shouldn't we have learned this rule in school? And without introducing us to family and friends, how would they ever learn the rule of 72.
Hey, thanks, Jimmy, and congratulations on your success in building your Primerica business. But I really appreciate you reminding us of the tremendous needs in the middle market for financial assistance. You know, we discovered during the pandemic that the needs had already been there, as we always assumed they were, and we knew they were at Primerica, but they were revealed like never before. We found that middle-income households suddenly became sensitive and are prioritizing their financial needs like never before. Jimmy shared with us some stats about how great those needs are, and our experience in Primerica has been that if you've got money, you can get advice and guidance. But if you come like most of us from a middle-income household, then most of the time companies are not interested in sitting down with your family and giving you the kind of guidance that you need. And Jimmy, you shared with us those financial concepts that we teach families, and hopefully those were interesting to you as a viewer, and you can start to think about, well, I'd like some more information about it, how exactly Primerica helps families get their financial challenges under control. The good news is we've got a deeper dive coming because we're going to hear from a 31-year veteran of Primerica next. She was a former industrial engineer, and she's from right in Atlanta, Georgia, where Primerica is based. Senior Vice President Renee Turner is going to talk to us a little more about how we help families.
Well, I'm so excited to share with you one of the very important ways that we help families, and it's the area that we call income protection. So let's talk about protection. Imagine that you had a toaster sitting in your kitchen right now, and on the 1st and 15th of every single month, $2,000 popped up out of that toaster, right? Like clockwork. Now, I want to ask you, would you like that toaster or would you love that toaster? You know you would love that toaster. You would tell your kids, don't touch that toaster, right? And guys, the next question is, would you insure that toaster? Because you want to be sure if anything happened to it, you could replace it, right? And continue to have that $2,000 pop out on the 1st and the 15th. Well, unfortunately, the bad news is there is no such toaster. But I want to let you know that you are the money machine for your family. And so if you would insure a toaster that provided income to your family, and that toaster doesn't exist, wouldn't it make sense for you to insure your income? And so really, that's what life insurance is about. It's about the people that you love and the fact that you were committed to providing for their needs while you were alive. And so I know you feel it's important to you that if something happens to you, you still want to make sure their needs are provided for. That's why you need income protection. So here's a real life example of a couple, right? Mom, dad, beautiful baby. They both make $3,500 a month, right? So they got $7,000 a month coming into that household. And the question is, what are they doing with all that money? Well, you know what they're doing with all that money. They're paying the bills, right? The mortgage, the car note, the insurance, the credit cards. And maybe there's a little bit, enough money for them to have a date night, once a week or so. Or, go out for a family night, take a family vacation once or twice a year. But the bottom line is all of that $7,000 is needed to support that family's quality of life. So what would happen if something happened to that dad? He doesn't make it home tonight. He passes away, right? And so now mom is left to raise that baby, but she's got to figure out how to do it on $3,500 a month instead of $7,000 a month. And here's my question. How can she possibly pay $7,000 worth of bills with only $3,500 worth of income? And you guys know the answer. She can't. It's impossible. And she's going to start experiencing some financial losses, right? And so the opportunity then is, if he was properly protected with income protection, with life insurance, then the money from that life insurance policy could be invested, and she'd be able to continue to pull out that $3,500 a month and replace his income and maintain her quality of life. Now, all life insurance is not created equal. When you purchase life insurance, there are two basic options. What most people have been told they should do is purchase cash value life insurance, more commonly known as whole life. Maybe you've heard of it as universal life, variable life. But basically, it's a life insurance policy that has a cash value savings account attached with it. So it's life insurance and investments and they're bundled together. Our philosophy is called buy term and invest the difference. Term insurance is pure protection. There's no extra money going into savings. It's going to be a lot less expensive than cash value life insurance, which means there's going to be money left over that can go toward a true investment, the kind of investment you've heard about earlier. And so you guys can see that buy term and invest the difference, it just makes sense. Especially when you apply it to our philosophy called the theory of decreasing responsibilities. In the early years of life, that's when we have responsibilities. We have debt. Most of us start taking on debt while we're in school, right? If you go to college, you get those student loans, right? You may even get your first credit card while